I want to share an update on the wins we've been having with the new Forest Act proposal and what's coming next. Now, you might expect tree hugging here because our proposal says ecological integrity is key, but this project is more like a contractor rewriting the building code because the roof keeps caving in. We're the people on the ground: residents, loggers, professional foresters, farmers, flood victims. At the end, I'll talk about a film that ties all this together, so stick with me. We've been making direct presentations to government, real meetings, solution focused policy work. We've now presented the new Forest Act to 5 MLAs across party lines. From the BC NDP, Sandu, Vernon Lumby, Morissette, Kootenai Monashee, Anderson, Nelson Creston. From the BC Conservatives, Wilson, Boundary Similkameen, McCall, West Kelowna Peachland. Plus 2 senior staffers from the Ministries of Water, Land and Resource Stewardship and Environment and Parks. These are serious, solution-focused meetings, and they're landing. And by the way, the new Forest Act proposal and backgrounder you've seen before, they've been revised and updated. Same foundational principles, but now they're clearer, sharper, and stronger than ever. Now, the way some of these meetings got booked, you're going to want to hear this. At several meetings, folks from the Interior Watershed Task Force joined us, including Michelle Connolly from Conservation North and Terrence Galbania from Peachland Watershed Protection Alliance. One meeting was set up by a guy who runs an excavating business in the Kootenays. That's Joe Cartine, who's working for better forestry across BC. Another came from a Rossland resident concerned about local logging. In addition to stats and policy, we shared stories to drive the point home because we believe forestry decisions should be made by the people who live with the consequences, not by lobbyists in downtown boardrooms. And if you think regular people can't move the needle, wait until you hear about Carol Lee. And what about the government people we talked to? Well, they're not yet part of the old boys club. They're still reachable. They know they weren't elected to be spokespeople for foreign companies. They were elected to stand up for their communities. And what stood out to the ones we met? That we're not just finger pointing. We're showing up with a solution, clear path forward. This isn't a protest. We're not against forestry. We're against the extractive system that's chewing through BC, leaving workers with insecurity, towns empty, and the land in ruins. This is about flipping the script on forestry in BC. And for the first time in a long time, we're being heard. It's because we're calling for modern legislation that protects communities, not laws written long ago for corporate timber supply. And here's the big shift. We're no longer calling forests a resource, something to be extracted. We're calling them what they are: vital infrastructure. Just like roads, bridges, and hospitals, BC's forests are public infrastructure. They protect water, stabilize weather, prevent floods and fires, and keep communities alive. You don't hand infrastructure to the highest bidder and hope for the best. You manage it in the public interest. I get messages every week from people across BC, parents, elders, residents, facing down clear cuts near their homes. Overwhelmed, desperate, and don't know where to turn. A mom in the Kootenays showed me a picture of her backyard. Just stumps, right up to the fence line. No birds, wind blowing through, and her little boy asking where the forest went. She said, "They logged right up to our backyard. What do we do now?" And that's why we built this strategy. That's why I keep going. One of the most powerful ways you can help is to book a meeting with your MLA. We've created a rule for people just like you. It's simple. You ask for a meeting, we join you and present the proposal. You explain why it matters in your town. Together, we push this forward, riding by riding. You don't need to be an expert, you just need to care. And if you didn't set up the original meeting with the MLA, you can still be someone who books a follow-up, like Carol Lee from the Kootenays did. After we presented to MLA Brittany Anderson, Carol Lee booked her own meeting, reinforced the message, and helped move the needle. We got her set up, and this is what she said. "I was able to have a productive meeting and feel well prepared for it. I encourage people all over BC to reach out to their MLAs about the new Forest Act. Carol Lee is helping to show that while the system is broken, the people aren't. If you're in BC and you care about your watershed, fire risk, or economy, step up, be a constituent liaison. We'll walk you through it. The link's in the description. But it's not just residents stepping up. Some of the most interesting questions are coming from people inside the industry. Wait till you hear what the truck driver told me. Because this proposal isn't just for environmentalists or policy nerds. We've talked to truck drivers, tree planters, retired RPFs, people who spent their lives in this industry. They've heard enough slogans. They know what's wrong. And what they're asking for is an exit strategy. So a log truck driver asked me a good question. He's not the only one thinking it. He said, but here's what I don't get. You're saying logging's still going to happen in the employment working forest zone in your proposal, but how much? I don't want to bank on promises and find out there's barely any work left. I just invested in new equipment. How do I know this won't kill the industry altogether? Fair question. Here's my answer. While we can't give exact volumes today, that needs a full ecological and financial analysis from government. Here's what I can tell you. This isn't about killing the industry. It's about saving what's left and making it work for BC. The current model is dying fast. Mills are shutting down, timber's running out, and no one's being honest about what happens next. Our proposal says, let's get ahead of the crash. Instead of chasing high volume industrial logging until it collapses, we build a steady, high value system based in nature-directed stewardship. It still involves logging, it still needs truckers, but it's based on quality over quantity and local, not international contracts, not focused on exports overseas. We're talking about long-term jobs, not short-term profits. And no, this isn't a tree hugger fantasy. I lived in a flood-ravaged town with a sawmill. The people behind this proposal are retired loggers, rural homeowners, and people who used to work for the Ministry of Forests. We care about jobs and about not losing our towns to fires, floods, or mill closures. So this guy's been hauling for 15 years. He knows the system's not working, and we're offering a way to keep working under new rules. Right now, taxpayer money props up corporations that are cutting jobs. We want that money reinvested right here in BC communities, in small and medium-sized local businesses. In our system, forestry jobs aren't tied to a company that might pull out tomorrow and piss off to Louisiana. They're tied to a region managing its own forest, one that needs truck drivers to keep it moving. This is a shot at real stability, something worth building towards. This is the kind of honest conversation we need more of, because this isn't just a policy shift, it's a lifeline. We're not banning logging, we're updating how it's done, so forests can keep doing their job for all of us, filtering water, moderating heat, and keeping jobs local. And if we want to keep having these conversations across BC, we need fuel. And here's the thing nobody wants to talk about: money. But if we're serious about protecting public infrastructure, this campaign needs fuel. We're building an immense province-wide campaign to build the new Forest Act and push it from proposal to policy. We've already started. MLA meetings, traction. The strategy is underway. Next step is the spring 2026 roadshow. BC tour, interior, island, coast. Local groups are asking us to come. We've got the plan, we just need to fund it. It costs $84,000. Let's raise it and roll. This work matters to you. Chip in. $20, $50, $300, whatever you can. The donations are already rolling in. $500 from Powell River, $250 from Grand Forks, $200 from Argenta. Because what we need right now is fuel. And emotional fuel doesn't cover travel or professional help. Believe me, I've tried paying people in moral clarity. Turns out, they still prefer money. And let's be real, this isn't fringe. We're not about saving nature in the abstract. We're protecting the infrastructure that holds our towns together, our water, our safety, our future. And if you want to see exactly what's at stake, you need to hear Stan's story. Here's why this work matters so much. If you haven't seen it, watch Trouble in the Headwaters, 25 minutes, links below. It lays bare how industrial logging worsened the 2018 flood in Grand Forks and how this pattern repeats across BC. It features UBC forest hydrologist Dr. Eunice Alila explaining the science behind what we're trying to put into policy. And shout out to Wayne Tiblus and Stan Swinarchuk, our retired loggers who've been doing this work long before the rest of us caught up. Absolute legends. The first time I met Stan, he tossed me and my dogs into his beat-up pickup truck and rattled us high into the Kettle River Mountains. Toothpick in his mouth, stories flying. He showed me a landslide the size of 3 football fields. Nothing but mud and boulders where forest used to be. Clear cut above it. He said, "This didn't used to happen. Used to be you worked with the land. Guys were on the ground with chainsaws. Now it's just machines tearing it up." Stan ran away from home at 14 and got taken in by an old school logger. First lesson, he said, don't shit where you drink. The guide caught Stan about to take a dump near a stream and let him have it. Stan never forgot it. That one rule, that one bit of backwoods ethics, stuck with him for life. Stan and Wayne have mentored me, guided Dr. Alila, and never stopped showing up. I've learned more from them than I ever could from books. If you watch one thing this week, make it that film. Links below. Or catch a live screening like the one in Grand Forks on September 5th. Don't shit where you drink. That's the ethic this campaign's rooted in. Protect what protects us. Thanks for watching. If you're ready to be part of something real, not just resisting, but rebuilding, now's the time. Donate, book a meeting, help us push structural reform. Because the forests won't wait. We're doing this. Let's go.
Yes, you can take, but you can't keep. This is terrible, what they're doing right now. They're here, they even said so. We're here in 7 to 10 years, and then we're gone. What does that mean? And then 7 to 10 years, they're gonna leave us with a town that's gonna fall apart, flood every year, because they're not here to maintain the roads anymore. Who's going to do that? Oh, now we have to pay for that? Oh, well, we don't have any jobs anymore. How are we going to pay for that?